Can you retire at 36 like I did? How do you retire early if all of your investments are trapped in retirement accounts? And why doesn't Fidelity offer ETFs? You're about to find out. Welcome back to the Personal Finance Club show. Hi, Jen.
What's up, Jer?
Big night last night.
Huge. We missed the podcast Golden Globe by just a hair of our chinny chin chin.
Right. You mentioned it to me this morning, and then I asked you, did we win? And apparently we did not.
We didn't.
I think the main reason we didn't win was probably no one is aware of our existence.
Correct.
Which really,
among other things.
Yeah, it's a bad start.
Bad start. Although Amy Poehler's podcast has only been around since March.
I know.
But it's good. Have you listened to it?
That's like 3 times as old as ours. I see some of the clips on the internet. It's fine, but
it's
like
nice.
She's famous, you know?
Yeah. What I actually loved about the category is that she was against Will Arnett for SmartList, her ex-husband.
Oh, they're exes?
Yeah, they have kids together.
Oh, I had no clue.
And I feel like their podcast is much more popular, but I don't know. She won.
I'm a Conan
I've never listened
fan.
to SmartList, though, so I can't compare in real time.
I only hear Will Arnett on Conan, so I don't know.
He's very funny. The other thing that I thought was really strange about the Golden Globes, because I actually watched them all, is that they put the poly market predictions at the bottom.
Oh, really?
Like,
Ooh.
we're fully integrated.
Yeah. If you don't know, Polymarket is this like online, basically gambling website where you can bet on anything. Mm-hmm. And it was made by this 21-year-old kid who basically was skirting all sorts of laws. I think it's even kind of now like based offshore to try to like avoid some sort of, U.S. government oversight. But, that aside, I don't really love that approach to regulatory issues. But I do think that, betting markets are super interesting because you hear without money on the line, everyone just like gives their opinion. Like even polls, like who do you think should do this? Who do you think?
Yeah.
But when people are betting, suddenly you get a real good sense of like what the real, odds on things are because people aren't going to like just throw their money away. And, they
were pretty accurate too.
Yeah.
They were like, they got most of the ones that they put up there. They were right.
Yeah.
Like the audience, I guess it was right, or the clients. I don't even know what you would call it, but they must be a sponsor because I can't see why they would, because Prize Picks has all kinds of commercials and stuff out, so they must have like sponsored the Golden Globes.
I don't know,
it's weird.
But it's interesting.
But we did not win last night, so I thought I'd let you know that today.
A huge snub. I think that
we weren't nominated either, by the way.
Yeah, we're nominated. They didn't contact us. We're invited.
No.
Yeah.
Although I should check my spam. Honestly,
yeah, that's true.
We missed some important emails.
I'm sure if someone from Golden Globes emailed me, I would have just filtered the spam anyway. So probably on us. All right, next year, we have a stretch goal for 2027. Win a Golden Globe for podcasting.
Yes. Okay. So should we get into the episode?
Let's do it. There's no way to start except for giving the great content that everyone loves.
Wow. Yeah, I love it. Okay. So our first segment. Explain it like I'm 5.
Well, what are we talking about?
Actually, this is funny because we didn't talk about this before. I only typed it, but I'm going to ask you, what is FIRE? But am I saying that right? Or should I be like FI-RE? Should I say the whole thing out right? Like how do people say it? Do people say it out loud?
These are great questions. I think that the verbal way to say it is FIRE or the FIRE movement.
Mm-hmm.
And FIRE is an acronym.
Fire.
It stands FIRE.
Sorry.
Yeah, just like the thing that you light in your fireplace.
Sounds so punk rock.
Yeah, it is the punkiest, rockiest part of the retirement planning industry.
Mm-hmm, I'm sure.
But yeah, it stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you,
that doesn't feel grammatically correct.
It's not, but you have to say it that way, or else it doesn't spell a cool word.
Mm-hmm,
if it said like early retirement and financial independence, it'd be like ERFI or something like that.
Even more punk rock.
Right. Yeah. Nothing like the ERFI movement. Okay. So here's my impression of what people think retirement is, or what people think their financial life looks like. You go to school, go to high school, you go to college, you get a job, and then you spend all your money every day of your life until you turn 65, and then you retire because you're old and you stop working, and then you just get to be on retirement until you die. And I really just think that's what the typical average like worker in the US thinks. You just work till you're 65, and then you get a little watch from your company, or
A watch.
like a little, some sad thing.
You're really dating yourself, and we're not that different in age.
A watch? What? You can't wear watches anymore?
You're kind of thinking of it like you've been at the same company for 40 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Which no one does anymore.
Okay, fine. So you've been there for 2 years, and they give you a DoorDash coupon or something. I don't know what these punk millennials are doing these days, or these Gen Zers. I'm a kind of a millennial. I think I'm actually. I think
Elder
I'm technically
millennial?
not.
You're not you're an elder millennial? When's the
think-
cutoff?
I think depending on like which site you look at, it's like 80 or 81, and I was born in November of 80. And so I'm either
Damn,
M
you
or I'm
old.
like, yeah, I know. Hey, I mean, we're both in the 80s. Give me a break.
I don't
We're
know.
all
It
in the
hits different.
80s.
80 hits different.
Okay.
That just sounds.
No.
Ooh.
80. We're all 80 something. We're all mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the earliest of 80. All right. What were we talking about? Fire?
Yeah. Yeah, so you're talking about FIRE. You
Oh,
you
yeah,
work at a
and you-
company, you get a
and then you
watch.
retire.
This is what you
Exactly.
do. This is how you retire, and this is what it
But
looks like.
here's a problem with that is
Mhm.
that's not true. If you
Mhm.
just go and work and spend all your money your whole life, and then when you're 65, you like get your watch or your DoorDash gift card or whatever, and then you retire, how do you live the next day? And the answer is a lot of people can't. So,
Right.
Jen, imagine you're walking into a Walmart. Do you ever go to Walmart?
There's not many actually in like LA proper, but I've been to Walmart once in LA. I'll give you that.
You're from North Carolina, though, aren't you? Isn't
Oh
that like
yeah,
Walmart,
we
like-
love Walmart there.
See?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
And you walk in, and there's someone like greeting you there.
Mm-hmm.
You can picture the greeter.
Mm-hmm.
How old is this person you're picturing?
They're 70 minimum.
70 minimum. I
Mhm.
agree.
Mhm.
And why do you think that greeter is doing that job at Walmart?
Because they didn't save enough for retirement.
Exactly, because
Spoiler
they don't
alert.
got no money. You don't.
Mhm.
You're not standing in front of a Walmart greeting people because you just love the work. If you really
Mhm.
want to go, you'd go volunteer at a zoo or at a museum or at a community garden or something that's like
Right.
much more affiliated. You wouldn't work at Walmart. And so the problem is when you hit 65, if you have no money, you have to keep working.
Yeah.
Because Social Security is like a safety net. So like maybe you have enough to barely eat, but
Mhm.
Social Security, like when you go look up your Social Security income based on your earnings, it's like kind of this little equation based on how much you've been putting in and how much you expect to get. It's like $1,500 a month or something.
Yeah.
And that ain't covering housing, car, food, all of these things that you're going to like want to do, plus like medicine and things like that.
Right.
And so what happens is these like, people of traditional retirement age have to go be Walmart greeters or whatever, and that's not what I want for you. But the good news is on the flip side, since nothing magical happens at 65, why 65? Why not 60? Why not 55? Why not 50? And the myth is that retirement is an age, but it's not. The truth is retirement is an amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And so here's your analogy. I think most people think of retirement as they go to a bus stop and they wait, and there's a little sign that says retirement, and you look at your watch and you wait till you're 65, and the retirement bus comes along, and then you get on it, and then you're on retirement.
Is that what
But-
most people think?
That's exactly what they think. They think it's a
Okay.
bus stop. They're waiting.
Okay.
But here's the truth. You can just get up and walk. You can walk to retirement right now,
Uh-huh.
or run or sprint,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll get there much, much sooner than waiting for the retirement bus.
Okay.
And here's the math. If you have enough invested, your investments will kick off enough income such that you can live off of the growth and income from your investments forever without any real risk of eating into the principal.
Okay.
And this is based on something called the 4% rule. And the 4% rule is the safe withdrawal rate from that you can withdraw from your portfolio.
Mm-hmm.
And so, for example, let's say instead of just waiting until you turn 65 and hope the retirement bus is going to come and drive you away to the old folks' home, you say, I'm going to try to save up $1 million as fast as possible. And you don't get there by just putting in a piggy bank. You get there by investing, like we always talk about. Then once you get to $1 million, 4% of that is $40,000. If you can live off of $40,000, that $1 million will sustain you forever. And you might be saying, okay, 40,000 is too low. Okay, then if you want 80,000, 2 million. Whatever the amount of money is that you want to live off of, you divide that by 4%, or you mathematicians out there know you can multiply it by 25. So you say, okay, if I want $100,000 to live off of, 100,000 times 25 is 2.5 million. The faster you get to 2.5 million, the sooner you're retired. And so the FIRE movement, sometimes written as FIRE all caps, sometimes written as FI/RE, financial independence, retire early, is basically this idea that instead of waiting for the retirement bus to come pick you up at 65, let's optimize for getting there as fast as possible. Let's like pull all the levers, do all the things, and get there as fast as possible. And, you know, my own personal story is I quit my job at 36. And since then, I have not had a real job. For a couple of years, I did, you know, nothing of any sort of like economic value. I coached beach volleyball in Italy, and I traveled and, you know, worked out and, you know, played video games and like just did all the things I thought you were supposed to do when you didn't need a job anymore.
Games.
I'm not a gamer, but I literally, it's such a funny story because I was literally early retired. I was 36, just watching TV or something one day, and I saw an ad that StarCraft, this video game, was now free, and it used to be like $50.
My brother used to play StarCraft.
Oh, okay. Well, was he Zerg or
no idea.
Terran or
that's the extent of my
the other
knowledge.
one? I haven't played long enough. I forget the main races. But anyway, you know, I literally just picked up this game because I was like bored. I was like, oh, it's free. Might as well. And I got super addicted for a year. And then I quit cold turkey because I don't want to waste my life. No, for like a year, I was just like sun up to sun, more like, you know, noon to 2 a.m. or something. I like was playing. It's crazy.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so you did that. You had a year of nothing, or 2 years of nothing, and 1 year was StarCraft year.
Yeah. It's somewhere like that. I don't know. We have to get out the calendar to figure out exactly my dates of my addiction, but
okay. No, don't worry about it.
But the point is, and during that year or two, my net worth went up. I actually had more money at the end of it than at the beginning because I was living off of less than 4%. So my investments were growing at, you know, this was a couple of good years in the market, growing at 10 or 15 or 20%. I was living off of like 2%. And so I got much more wealthy in these 2 years, right? And of course, the market doesn't always go up 10 or 15%. In the bad years, it might go down, which is why I use 4% as an approximation. I'm not going to go into the whole thing about why it's exactly 4%, and that's not an exact number, and it's not proof or anything, but it's just kind of a ballpark rule of thumb number you can use.
Right.
And so that's what the FIRE movement is. You know, when I retired at 36, my net worth was around 2.8 million. Today, after not having really any like serious income over that time, it's like 6 million because of this, you know, good years in the market, living below my means, all that good stuff.
Nice.
So that's what FIRE is. That's what the FIRE movement is. I recommend it because, you know, this is your life. And if you're just in the rat race and waiting for the retirement bus to come pick you up and take you to the old folks home at 65, that's not like optimizing your life, I don't think. So big fan of the FIRE movement. And we have a big announcement, Jen.
What is it?
Big announcement. We are doing a FIRE Crash Course Cohort.
The crowd goes wild.
I know. I can't believe. But basically, no, we've got over 1 million followers on social media. Plus, of course, you 3 devoted, loyal listeners of this podcast. There's more than 3.
No.
We're in the 4 digits now, weekly at least.
Well.
Yeah, pretty well for podcasts, I assume. But, you know, I think there's so much interest in early retirement that we're going to have a 6-week limited size cohort where basically a bunch of us like-minded people get together weekly on a Zoom, and Jen and I are going to walk you through like the direct A to Z crash course of how to project your own early retirement date, how to pay off your debt, how to make your first investments if you're not investing already, how to automate those investments, how to optimize your portfolio for growth and taxes, calculating and tracking net worth. Did I say that one already? And even building your own dead box. And all these things are kind of, including the 4% rule and all these things involving the FIRE movement. And I think it's just like a really, it's January. People are thinking about getting their stuff in order, and to just come through with some accountability, some structure, and we're not secret keepers here. All I do with my time all day, every day is just try to tell everyone everything I can about personal finance, building wealth, early retirement. So I'm not keeping secrets here on the podcast, but it's really nice to have it really organized, laid out on a Zoom. You can ask questions. We're limiting it to 500 people, and I don't know if it's going to sell out. I'm almost positive it will sell out based on how popular our past courses have been and things like that. Plus, if you sign up for the FIRE cohort, you get every single one of our courses for free, which is 3 of them. So you get the investing course, the personal finance course, How to Money Like a Millionaire, and the Dead Box course. And those added up together, I think, are over $200, right? If you bought them individually. And so you get all of those plus the live Zoom where you can ask us questions and meet us and hang out. And it's $199.
Boom, baby.
Yeah. It's not live yet. You can't even buy it yet, but it's going live. It depends on when you're listening to this because it's a podcast, but it's going live January 19th through 25th. If you want to sign up for the waitlist, so you're notified exactly when the shopping cart opens, and so you can get one of those spots, you can go to personalfinanceclub.com/FIRE, FIRE, no fancy acronym or no fancy punctuation or anything. So personalfinanceclub.com/FIRE. Get on the waitlist, join us for the cohort, come hang out live. You're going to see how funny we are in real life. If you think we're funny on the podcast, then you'll know it's true in real life too. And if you don't think we're funny on the podcast, get out of here, man.
I'd say we're hit or miss. I mean, like any good comedian.
Yeah. This is 18 shows and we've had 2 good ones so far. And so
2? That's not a good percentage.
Well, okay. If it's like, 2 out of 18 is really good if you're talking about winning the lotto or something. Like, that's a pretty good odd.
You know what? It's all perspective.
And listening to a good episode of the Personal Finance Club show is basically as exciting as winning the lottery.
Okay. Some might argue.
Jen groans. Oh.
I'm excited about the cohort.
I can see her scrolling Indeed and the reflection of the irises of her eyes right now.
I am excited. It's going to be fun. We're going to pack the house. We're going to have a great community. And Jeremy's going to give you a tight 5, and then he's going to give you 55 minutes of finance every week.
The type 5 is the comedy, and then the 55 is the content.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to cut you off, actually.
I know. I'm going to be going on going to get one of those big hooks.
And another thing, what's the deal with airplane peanuts?
Yeah, the airplane food jokes. Those are so topical. All right, so join us, personalfinanceclub.com/FIRE. It's going to be great. And let's move on with the show.
Awesome. Let's get into our next segment. Can I ask a dumb one?
Are you asking a dumb person? Are you asking a dumb question? I don't think there are dumb questions. And we have dumb people.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. I'm not going to comment on that, but I have a question. I'm going to call it anonymous because I don't think I heard back from this person if they want their name used. But the log line is, how are you living off your investments? And the question, if I keep up my current investing strategy, I plan to have enough to retire by around age 45 using your 4% safe withdrawal rate rule to live off of. This will be before the distribution age for my Roth IRA/401k, which will hold the majority of my investments. How exactly do I live off of them before retirement age, especially to minimize the taxes and penalties? I own 2 properties as well. I mention this because I have heard of taking loans against my assets. So mentioning in case a HELOC, home equity line of credit, would give any different or better results than a loan against my stocks. How does this work?
This is a good question. It's a question I get all the time. And to summarize, they're basically saying, Jeremy, you always talk about putting all your money into these retirement accounts and then retiring early, but that's a conflict because you can't access your retirement accounts until you're 59 and a half years old, or the year in which you turn 59 and a half. During that tax year, you can start accessing your retirement accounts without penalty. And so they're saying, Jeremy, you jerk, That's what he's implying here. You
I don't
liar.
know who asked this question. Jesus.
How are you? You're setting us up for failure, you dick.
Oh my God.
If I'm put all my money locked away in these retirement accounts, how am I supposed to get to it before I'm 59 and a half years old? And so first, let's put this into context. I have so many thoughts on this. Before I put into context, let me give me other context. I don't know what the word is, but I get asked this question all the time. All the time. People say, I'm going to get there early. What do I do? I never talk to someone who has this problem, though. Everyone who's actually retired at 45 realizes they don't have all their money locked in retirement accounts. They have money elsewhere too. And I'm going to get into that in a sec. And so while it's a really large cause of concern, potential concern for people, it is really, 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 really an actual problem.
Okay.
That's thing number one. Thing number two, let me put it into context. Let's say, to make it simple, you're just maxing out your Roth IRA, Roth 401k every year, and you get it to $2 million when you are 45.
Okay.
And so you can't access it for 15 more years. And then you do the worst possible thing. You withdraw all $2 million of it all at once, and you put it all into your checking account. What that means is you'd pay a penalty. And when you hear penalty, I think our the pain sensors of our brain just light up and go red, and we think about getting expelled as a child or going to detention, or our parents being mad at us, and we've spent all of our life being so beaten into submission for not getting being penalized that we are so afraid of penalties. You get a penalty. The penalty is 10%. That means this $2 million that you were going to retire on gloriously gets penalized. A 10% penalty is $200,000. So instead of $2 million, you have $1.8 million. That is the worst possible scenario, where you did the craziest thing, where you took out all $2 million all at once, and then you put it in your checking account. So that's the scope we're dealing with. Best case scenario, 2 million. Worst case scenario, 1.8. But of course, you wouldn't do the worst possible thing and withdraw all 2 million in one day. You would just be taking out a little, and eventually, little by little to live off of. Eventually, you would be 59 and a half. And so this existential crisis, existential fear about they're going to penalize me. This isn't my money. It's locked away forever in a vault where only Indiana Jones can ever reach it with a bag of sand
topical
and a
reference.
skull or something. Jen's been calling me old all day.
I mean, Indiana Jones, bro.
Okay, what do the kids talk about?
Not
Billie
Harrison
Eilish
Ford.
What's
Have you seen Harrison Ford lately?
Kardashians. Indiana Jones is still.
Go Google Harrison Ford. He's it's not giving young anymore.
What is he? 50 now?
God.
I'm 50.
I was about to say.
Okay. But the point is, if you did the worst possible thing, this is what we're dealing with. It's 10%. It's not the end of your life. So don't be afraid of it. Okay. That said, here are 6 ways. If you're listening, I'm making a big 6 to the camera with my fingers. Here are 6 ways to access your retirement funds early. Okay. Number 1, a regular old brokerage account. We talk about this all the time, where people get so fixated on IRA, 401k, TSP, 403b, HSA, all these fancy names. You can just go to Fidelity or Vanguard, open up a regular brokerage account, and put money in there and take it out whenever you want. No penalty. There are tax implications, if there's a gain, you have to pay tax on the gains, but that's, you pay tax on the gains in your savings account too when you get interest. And even this question asker anonymous says, the majority of my investments will be in the IRA 401k. That means some of it won't be, which means to bridge that 14.5-year gap between 45 and 59.5, he'll start by accessing his non-retirement funds, right? And if he's only trying to bridge 14 years instead of 40 years, that might be enough right there. I have 2 exciting updates. We just cut for an edit. I had a sneezing fit, update number 1. And update number 2, this anonymous question asker's name is Gabby and uses he, she, her pronouns.
I don't get pronouns, but I got a name. I should probably say
I have a grandpa Gabby, so it could be a guy.
Okay, well, Gabby.
We'll just use Gabby.
Okay.
Gabby Anonymous. Okay, so Gabby says that they have, most in retirement accounts, but a little bit not. So brokerage account number 1. Number 2 way to access your retirement before 59 and a half, investment in real estate. Most people who become very, very wealthy before the 59 and a half end up owning some real estate. They buy a duplex, live in half and rent out the other half. Then they move and they keep the duplex. And now they've got a duplex kicking off, $3,000 a month on profit or whatever it is. And Gabby is, and this, this question came in fully disconnected from this 6 ways strategy I'm talking about. And Gabby says, I own 2 properties as well. And so Gabby, before you even need to go to your Roth IRA 401k, you can go off of your brokerage account and your investment properties. Those are going to be kicking off income. You got options. And like I said, while people worry about this question, it rarely happens because Gabby's going to get there at 45 and realize, oh yeah, my brokerage account and investment real estate is kicking off, $6,000 a month, and I'm living off of $5,000 a month or whatever. And so I can draw down my brokerage account a little bit. And then by the time I'm 59 and a half, then I'll have these like massive retirement accounts, which have been growing for 14 years.
I love this for Gabby.
Love it too. Okay. Way number 3, Roth IRA principle. Gabby, another good example. She says she has a Roth IRA. If you put money to your Roth IRA, that money has already been taxed. So the government says you can take that back out, penalty tax-free whenever you want. And so, for example, if I'm putting round numbers, $5,000 a year in, for 10 years, that's $50,000. For 20 years, that's $100,000. Let's say it grows to $300,000 of Gabby's portfolio, $300,000 in the Roth IRA, but $100,000, that's principal. You can take that out. That's another way you can access your retirement accounts penalty tax-free. And again, we're only talking about avoiding the penalty, that 2 million versus 1.8 million example I gave. And so, everything I'm saying here is just getting that to 0. And then
I have a quick question.
Off the races. Amazing. What is it?
The principal that you're talking about, is it stated there? Would you know I'm taking from my principal versus I'm taking from like growth?
So if you want to withdraw money from the principal of your Roth IRA, you just log into your account, you click transfer money from Roth IRA to checking account, and then the IRS always treats it in order. Any withdrawals, first they assume you're taking principal. Second, they assume you're taking conversions if you converted things to your Roth. And then third, you're taking gains. And so basically, you should know through the tax forms you filed over the years, or if you want to create a little simple spreadsheet, how much you've actually contributed. And then you can just simply transfer that out of there up until that amount and then not pay any, penalties or anything else on the gains. But in the Roth, there would be no tax on the gains. So it's basically you just making sure you withdraw less than you put in, but it's not like the money's all mixed up inside there. It's not like there's different dollars assigned to different things inside of the account. So that's how you do it.
Amazing.
That's way number 3.
Okay.
Way number 4, a Roth conversion ladder. So this is getting a little bit technical, a little bit tricky. And
let's get into it.
Even with Gabby, 1, 2, 3, probably just from 1, she's probably set brokerage account. 2, investment in real estate. She's definitely set. 3, Roth IRA principal. If she needs another few $100,000 in Roth IRA principal, she's like super set. You want to get even more serious, now Roth conversion ladder. So Gabby talks about her 401k. When she retires at 45, she can roll that 401k over to a rollover IRA. And that is pre-tax money. That means that money has never yet been taxed as income by the government. So when Gabby was working, maybe she's making $100,000 a year, putting $20,000 a year into a traditional 401k. The government was taxing her as though she made just the $80,000. That $20,000 came off the top, went right into her 401k. You can convert that to a Roth. When you convert it, there's this kind of weird problem, which is, like we were just talking about, if you're putting money into a Roth IRA, there's principal and then there's gain. You put in $100,000, it grows to $300,000. You have $100,000 principal, you have $300,000 gain. But then there's this new class of money, which is conversion. With the principal, you can take it out immediately whenever you want because you've already been taxed. With the gains, that's what you have to leave in there until you're 59 and a half or risk paying a penalty. But what about the conversion? Because the conversion is this weird mix of contributions and gains that were in traditional and now it's in Roth. And the answer is there's this 5-year rule which says, hey, when you convert it from traditional to Roth, you have to wait 5 years, but then at 5 years, it basically gets treated as principal. And
Oh,
so
that's nice.
and then you can take it out tax penalty free. And that goes
Wow.
back to that ordering I just mentioned about where when you're making withdrawals from your Roth IRA, the IRS assumes principal first, always free to take out, conversion second, which means it has that 5-year rule, and then gains and distributions last. So a Roth conversion ladder is basically making these conversions a little bit each year so that 5 years later, there's this new, basically, tranche, what's that word?
Never heard it.
New bucket of money that becomes available 5 years from now, right? And so, for example, if Gabby retires at 45, then she would likely be in a very low income bracket starting at the age of 45 because she has, or a low tax bracket because she doesn't have any income. And so then every year she might convert a little bit from her traditional to her Roth. And then starting at 50, she can live off that. So her strategy might be, okay, from 45 to 50, I'm living off of my brokerage account. And then from 50 to 59, I'm living off of the conversions, that Roth IRA ladder that I started 5 years ago, 1 year at a time as like this little trailing conversion thing. It sounds like Roth IRA ladder. And again, that way you kind of have this like really amazing situation where you're paying very little tax on the conversions because you're only converting enough money to live on each year. And you're in a very low tax bracket because you retired at 45 and have no income. And so then you've done this amazing thing where you've not paid any tax when you earned it. You pay very little tax when you convert it, and then you can live on it for free until you're 59 and a half without paying any penalty.
Love it.
That's way number 4. Way number 5 is Rule 72T.
Talk about it.
Jen, I assume you know exactly what Rule 72T is. Rule 72T is literally a line of the IRS tax code, or a rule in the IRS tax code that basically is designed for early retirees. And it says, hey, if you have so much money in your retirement accounts that you want to take it out early, you can, but you basically just have to commit to doing it in what's called separate equal periodic payments, SEPP. And that's saying we don't want people when they're 30 draining their 401k and going to buy a speedboat. But if you're like 50 and you want to do speedboat, it's like the what is that? Is that a funny way to say it? What do you call it? A motorboat?
Can't even begin to tell you why that's so like ridiculous. Okay, go ahead.
Is that some sort of drug?
No,
drug phrasing.
Just keep going. I'm overhyping it. Go.
Jen was high on speedboat this weekend, so she knows exactly what.
Yeah, that's what happened.
There's nothing like waking up from a speedboat bender. You're 30 years old, you drain your 401k, you spend it all on speedboat, and you're high for 6 months. Man, that would be a much better podcast. We'd probably win the Golden Globe if we just talked about speedboat every week. Don't snub us again, Golden Globes. If you snub us for 2027
is our year.
Yeah. So basically, if those first 4 ways we just talked about, brokerage account, investment real estate, Roth IRA principal, Roth conversion ladder, if that's not enough, then you can just go to the government and say, hey, I'm going to make 10 separate equal periodic payments from the age of 50 to 59 and a half and take it out of my 401k and just file the form every year, and they say, fine, as long as you're not buying speedboat.
Yep.
And again, goofy on speedboat every weekend, we're fine with it.
Okay.
And that's only number 5. And then rule number 6 is Rule of 55, which basically says if you quit your job after 55, then forget 59 and a half. You can access your whole 401k right then. And so it's just a way for people.
So it's like unemployment where you can't work full time after you do that, basically.
Actually, I'm not. It's so rare that's like someone's literally quitting between 50 and 50. My understanding is it's if you quit your job after the age of 50, that last 401k at that job is free game. Fair game until and you don't have to wait till you're 59 and a half. So
interesting. Okay.
But I act so unimpressed by it just because people don't actually have this problem. People who get that much wealth that early have brokerage accounts, have investment real estate, can access their Roth IRA principal, can do a Roth conversion ladder. And I think I talked to one guy who's doing Rule 72T, and good on him, dude.
All right.
Yeah. So there you go.
Wow.
So basically, Gabby, you're crushing it. Oh, and we kind of ignored the whole second half of her question, which was, I've heard of taking loans against my assets. And it's one of these things. It's like, there's these, we even did one on the podcast, didn't we? Where it's like Mark Zuckerberg pays $0 in tax
Oh
because
yeah.
he just keeps all his Meta stock and then he takes loans against it. But it's like this kind of obscure strategy that makes it sound like, oh, this is how all rich people are doing. We're all living off of loans. Like, don't do that. Don't take a HELOC, a home equity line of credit. Don't take loans against your assets. Just live off your money that you've built, right? Trying to play this game of loans is just going to burn you.
Yeah, sounds like Gabby has a lot of options, and now she has half of a podcast dedicated to her. So,
There's
good on you.
six good things though, so I couldn't
did
stop.
that. You did your big one with that.
Yeah.
You really went
All
off.
These podcasts go by so fast. All you commute listeners, that by like Thursday drive home, it's already over, and you're just waiting those 6 painful days till the next one's released. So you should be grateful for my long rants.
Yes, when I'm listening back for edits, it does fly by, and I listen to all the stupid things that we said, and I'm like, you know what? That's not bad. Okay, cool.
The stupid things are the best things. Okay.
The stupid things are the best things. All right, let's move on to our next segment. Scroll Patrol.
Scroll Patrol.
Okay, I've got a video from the internet. Jeremy has not seen it. He's going to react in real time. So, Jeremy, click on that link. I have a feeling you're going to like this one, and you can...
Oh, no spoilers. You can't...
sorry.
That's like the classic mistake of polling people. You can't, like, suggest something.
Well, it's not... It's very innocuous, so it's not, like, something that's polarizing by any means.
You're still spoiling me.
Okay. Let me stop talking.
I'm a totally tainted audience now.
Click on the link and let me know what you think.
Okay. Let's see. Here we go.
We've all been trying to treat ourselves on a budget, right? But the Wall Street Journal just announced the most cost-effective girls' hangout idea, which is called Admin Night. It is literally just you and your friends showing up in sweatpants, drinking wine, and dealing with all the administrative tasks that have been clouding your brain and mental energy. Think canceling old subscriptions, cleaning out inboxes, booking doctor and dentist appointments, updating passwords and beneficiaries, getting a will. And the wild part is, you leave lighter, you save money, and you didn't even have to spend a bunch to get time in with your friends. I know we're all balling on a budget, and in this economy you need to, so why don't you get together the snacks that you already have, some wine, some friends, and throw a little admin night get together. I think that sounds wonderful, and you might even learn a thing or two.
Love it, Maddie Agers, Maddie Agers. No, it reminds me of the origins of Personal Finance Club.
I know. I was like, this is right up Jeremy's alley.
Yeah, I used to meet with my friends and we would like drink beer and open up Roth IRAs and we would jokingly call it, she called it Admin Night. We would call it Personal Finance Club. And look at us now. We have a very much in the conversation Golden Globe.
Yeah. There were
podcast,
5 nominees, and I'm pretty sure we were like right there at 6, 7.
Right, we were a bubble. We were a bubble one. Yeah. Did you just say 6, 7?
I can't.
We have to delete this whole episode now.
I know. I am actually way too old to be doing that, but I can't. I'm on the internet too much, so I can't. I was 6, 7. I even did the motion. It's so bad.
I know. I feel like that's one of these trends that like elementary school owned for like a week, and then all the grown-ups were like, "That's so cool."
I'm surprised it's not dead yet because we took it over.
Fun. I know exactly. I feel like the elementary school kids like have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're a Golden Globe bubble podcast, basically rooted in this exact same thing. And so I love that. It feels the same way to me too, because like, do you have, just off the top of my head, like I'm paying too much for car insurance. I know I am. I know I can like switch providers and save probably 100 or hundreds a month.
Well, you know what I've been doing for that lately? It's like, I've been trying to get rid of this damn Spectrum because y'all don't know because it uploads my video directly, but my internet is trash. I have Spectrum. I pay way too much. But it's literally, I've been for the past 2 months trying to figure out another option, and it's literally my only option for my building. Yeah. Like, I've called other places, and they're just like, yeah, girl, Spectrum is it. And they're gouging me. Yeah.
Have you tried Google Fiber?
But my brother told me that there's like hotspot internet thingies that I should not use, and like Verizon is one of them where they're like, they don't really offer internet. It's like a boosted hotspot basically. And you don't want that.
No, totally. Yeah. I literally had 3 internets at once at my last house because I couldn't get. I had the hotspot thing. I had DSL and I had cable.
I mean, day to day doesn't matter, but Jeremy does roast me. He's like, your internet, your video. I'm basically just pixels to Jeremy right now.
Yeah, it's true.
But yeah, so like that's one of the things where I probably could cut. I should probably look into car insurance because my best friend changes like every year. She's like, yeah, you can always get a better deal.
100%. And I really like how she said you leave lighter because these things are like rattling around, partially in my head, maybe on some to-do lists, never top of mind. And I love that you just say it out loud to your friends and be like, yo, let's like get together. Like with my wife, I'm like, you know what I would love to do on this Saturday night? Like open up our laptops and like, you know, close old accounts or, you know.
Oh my God, nerd.
Balance our
Boo, loser.
What do you mean nerd? This is what she's saying. It's cool. It's admin night.
Kidding.
It's wine, girl, wine, admin night. Okay.
No, my friends and I do this with like mood boards and intentions, but we probably should, you know, chat more about finances and just like, I mean, not everything she even mentioned was financially related, like even doctors and dentist appointments and things like that can get away from you. Like I love that idea.
And like you leave lighter because you're like, oh my God, I've been like worrying about this. Instead of worrying about it for 2 more months, you just get it out of the way in 2 hours.
I knew you'd like this one.
I don't like it. I love it. I give it an A+. I have no notes. It's like the first one where I feel like with all these finance things, I was like, well, there's like some nuance here. I should probably. I don't think there's any nuance. I love it. I mean, maybe the nuance is like, what kind of wine? We get $2 Chuck because that's a good deal. Every time.
Is this the first A+ you've given?
Maybe. I feel like I've given. Yeah, A+. Great job.
Amazing. Good job.
As long as it's good wine. As long as it's cheap wine. Don't want to spend too much money.
There you go. That's the defeat purpose.
This is not Personal Wines Club. Did I say wine ants?
Did you do that on purpose?
No. Nothing I do is on purpose. I'm just
Sister pod, Personal Wine Ants Club. Okay, should we move on?
Let's do it. What's next?
Our next segment is
Money.
Jeremy had time today.
I do not have time for this comment because I get this comment.
You're jumping ahead. I don't even know what the post is.
I know, but I'm just warning you. Maybe I've just like you tainted me in this last poll. I'm tainting the audience, but all right.
Okay, why don't you tell us what the post is and then I'll go in the comment. Yeah.
So whenever I talk about investments, growth, whatever, people are like, what should I invest in? What are your investments? Yada, yada. And my answer is, you know, it's nuanced, but like you don't need to invest exactly what I'm in because there's this whole
because you're old and not everybody's old.
Yeah, because I'm old now. Now Jen just ripping on me for being old. I was wondering today if I had highlights in my hair or if I could just see my scalp through my hair now.
Well, no, because if you're doing, you know, targeted index fund, then it does matter if you're old.
That's true. That's true. But the point is like there's lots of different portfolios that are all equally perfect. Mm-hmm. And so there's not like one good investment or one bad investment. And so I made this post called 3 Fund Portfolios, and it gave 7 different portfolios that are all functionally identical to each other, both different providers and different forms. So the first line says, you know, 54% VTSAX, which is Vanguard's total stock market mutual fund. Mm-hmm. Then 36% VTIAX, which is Vanguard's total international market mutual fund. Right. And then there's VBTLX, which is Vanguard's total bond market mutual fund. Mm-hmm. And the next line is those exact same percentages and asset classes, except the ETF version instead of the mutual fund version. Mm-hmm. So Vanguard mutual fund, Vanguard ETF, Schwab mutual fund, Schwab ETF, Fidelity mutual fund. Notice how I didn't say anything there?
I did.
Because then what does this comment say?
Because the comment says, where are Fidelity ETFs? Angry face, devil face, sad cat face, exclamation, question mark, and then 6 more exclamations. Like, whoa, buddy.
And this is what happens. This is why I don't have time for this, because every time I post a list of ETFs, everyone says, where are the Fidelity ETFs? Mm-hmm. And my answer is, Fidelity doesn't offer total market ETFs. And the reason is because this is a little bit of a history lesson.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to go way back. I'm going to really date myself. When I was like a kid, Jen and I were both born in the early 80s.
I was born in 86. How dare you?
Well, it's early, you know.
It's not. It's categorically in the second half.
We were both mid-80s then. I was born in 80, which is like, very late 80, November of 80. Okay.
You was almost 79. When's your birthday again? What month?
November of 80.
Okay.
I'm basically 81.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay.
So which is mid 80s. So anyway, like in the 80s, if you wanted to buy a stock, I don't think ETFs were even invented then, to be honest. But like if you want to buy a stock or a mutual fund, you had to like go like mail a letter to a brokerage or go to a stockbroker's office, and there's like very expensive fees because it's a very manual process and these people's jobs. And then like in the 90s, the internet got invented, and then suddenly instead of paying like $50 or $100 a trade to your stockbroker, you could pay like $10 a trade to these online platforms like Scott Trade. I remember like Scott Trade came out and they were like letting you buy a stock for $10 a trade. I was like, what an incredibly good deal. And then there's kind of like for a while, like slowly decreasing prices because as the internet became easier to develop and things like that, you're like, oh, you don't really need to charge $10 for a trade. It's kind of just like a database transaction. You could charge like $5 for a trade. And so a lot of brokers were trading $5. And then Robinhood came out, and Robinhood said, hey, all trades are free. You can buy and sell, and we're going to do it totally free. And then all these big old brokerages like Vanguard, Fidelity, and Schwab were like, uh-oh, we've been making money charging people to buy and sell stocks per trade. But Robinhood's doing it for free. What do we do? And basically, it's like this one very quick, like 3 to 6 month period, if my memory serves, where all the U.S. brokerages just all were so afraid of the competition and losing their customers, they all went to zero trade. Okay. But before that was like the whole history. Okay. In that period of time, which was a long period from like the 90s to probably around 2020 or something, or whenever Robinhood became popular, probably, 20-year period, Fidelity made a deal with BlackRock, who does iShares. And they said, hey, we will let our customers trade just your ETFs for free. And in exchange, you have to like give us some money or something, or some backroom deal. I don't know all the details. And so basically, if you were a Fidelity customer between like the years, late 90s to 2020, and you wanted to buy ETFs, you could pay the $5 or $6 a trade, or you could use the iShares version and pay $0 a trade. And that's actually in my Fidelity account to this day. I have iShares ETFs because of this reason. Because when I started buying ETFs, I could buy VTI with Vanguard for $6 a trade, or I could buy ITOT with iShares for $0 a trade. And then part of that deal was you give us all these kickbacks for us kind of sponsoring the free trades for your ETFs. And in exchange, we promise not to compete with you and offer our own line of ETFs. And so Vanguard basically Fidelity was basically like, we get to save all the work of creating these ETFs, and we get money for it. I honestly think that kind of backfired, because when this Robinhood thing came about, now you can go to Fidelity and you can buy VTI and pay $0 a trade. You can buy SCHB, the Schwab version of the total U.S. stock market ETF, and pay $0 a trade. And so now Fidelity's in this position where they've basically been forced by market pressures to offer trades on all stocks and ETFs for free, but they don't have their own where they're getting to charge the expense ratio to their customers. And so, whenever I list all the ETFs, Fidelity customers are saying, what do I do? Where's the Fidelity one? And the answer is just buy whatever one you want. You can literally go into fidelity.com and click VTI, the Vanguard Total Stock Market, VXUS, Vanguard Total International, BND, Vanguard Bond Fund, and pay $0 a trade. And so you don't need Fidelity branded ETFs. You can trade any ETF for free. That said, this is where it gets a little bit nuanced. A little bit of nuance alert. Should we have like a little nuance siren? Nuance siren.
Nope, I don't think that we should.
Okay, we are canceling the nuance siren.
I feel like that defeats the purpose of nuance.
I know.
I feel like nuance
Golden
wouldn't
Globe.
have a siren.
No, we're gonna have nuance fireworks. Play some John Seuss up with the nuance cymbals and the nuance snare drum.
No.
Here's the nuance alert. If you're buying mutual funds, that's not true. This free transaction thing only applies to stocks and ETFs.
Okay.
So, for example, if I go to Fidelity.com and I type in VTSAX, which is the Vanguard Total Stock Market Mutual Fund, then Fidelity's going to charge me, I think, like $75 or something per trade.
What?
I forget.
What?
It's outrageous. And then likewise, if I go to Vanguard and type in F0X, I think you can't even do it. But if I buy one of the Fidelity mutual funds, I think Vanguard charges like $20 a trade or something like that.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's a lot. And so I often see this where I look at someone's Fidelity portfolio and they heard VTSAX is good. And so they buy VTSAX. I'm like, oh, dude, you're paying $75 a trade or whatever it is. So that's the nuance, which is if you're trading ETFs or stocks, it's no transaction fee. Doesn't matter if it's your brokerage or not. And if you're trading mutual funds, watch out for the transaction fees. You don't want to buy a Fidelity mutual fund inside of a Vanguard account or vice versa. And so that is why there are no Fidelity ETFs. You can choose any ETF.
Got it. Got that, commenter?
Yeah. And
They're
to be
still gonna
fair,
comment it.
there's on this post, in fact, if you read the last line of this post, it says, this is in the image. So Instagram has like the image and the caption. In the image, it says, and before you ask, Fidelity doesn't offer ETFs, but all ETFs trade free on Fidelity. And then in the caption, I went on a rant about how there are no Fidelity ETFs, just like I did just now. And guess
Did you
what?
reply to this commenter?
Well, I think this guy was joking because someone else had just recently posted where are the Fidelity ETFs? And I said, my God, man, did you not read the caption, the image?
Don't read. It's 2026.
Yeah, exactly. No one reads. They're like, show me, what button do I click to become rich?
Yeah.
Don't,
Make the
you're
video
taking
less
too
than
long.
15 seconds.
You're taking too long. I'm just going to buy Speedboat.
Okay. That's the perfect way to end the episode. Thank you all for joining us. Don't forget to go to personalfinanceclub.com/fire to sign up for our course starting in just a few weeks. And that's all we have time for you today on the Personal Finance.
See you guys there at the FIRE Crash Course Cohort. And don't forget the 2 rules of Personal Finance Club. Rule number 1, live below your means. And rule number 2, invest early and often.
The Personal Finance Club show is produced by Jeremy Schneider and Jen Mundia. Music by Esabalu and Homie. Send your questions to podcast@personalfinanceclub.com. The Personal Finance Club show is co-hosted by Jeremy Schneider, who is a co-owner of Nectarine, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The views expressed on this show are those of the hosts and guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Nectarine. Please refer to hellonectarine.com for all relevant disclosures. This podcast is for informational and educational purposes only and should not be construed as personalized investment advice or a solicitation to buy or sell any security. Listeners should consult their own financial, legal, or tax professionals for advice specific to their situation.